Welcome to the Paycheck to Passion Top Tips video podcast, where we bring you the best advice for everyday entrepreneurs from our podcast interviewees. So what's on the show today then, Meredith?
Well, so today we're interviewing Madeleine Eno. She's a writer and an editor, and she works with conscious entrepreneurs to deliver their most clear and compelling messages to their ideal clients. She's a former award-winning magazine editor, and she's had stints as an art instructor, yoga teacher, bartender, fundraiser, and salesperson. And she helps fellow business owners find the soul of their own story, their golden thread, and powerfully and profitably weave it into their sales pages, signature speeches, and websites. And in today's interview, she did a really good job of really explaining why it's important to get to your core message in everything that you offer, because it resonates so much with your clients and with the people who are hearing your messages.
Now, in terms of helping business owners get to that story about themselves, what 5 things would you recommend them to do to really get to that story?
Okay. One is to really just try it and dive in. And I think a lot of times, just like you were saying before, we're not that many years out of, the solo business owner using we when they write about their company. We're not that far out from the corporate language. So it does feel a little scary to share our own story, our own real story that might not be always very linear and really pretty. It might be a little bit raw. But just to suspend your disbelief and trust that telling a great story is a ton more compelling than giving people a ton of information and data, and they're going to remember the story. So the power of it is huge. I was just at a conference this last weekend and I watched a lot of presenters. All of them told stories, and then one woman kind of went through the PowerPoint bullet point by bullet point. And it was so clear, the difference. And I don't remember anything she said, but I remember everything about the stories. So trusting it. Another piece is believing that your story is the thing that sets you apart, because people worry about niche and their ideal client and their cool offering or the title of their company setting them apart. But it's really your story, and you don't even have to worry about competition in a way, because your story is yours and yours alone, and it's what's going to make you unique and set you apart. Another piece is Brene Brown, and she writes a lot about vulnerability and shame. Like, we live in a pretty shame-based culture, and a lot of us, our stories, we don't always feel so great about some parts of our story. And her whole thing is, really stepping into it and telling it is the way through it. She has this whole idea that when we're hiding our story, it's almost creating a shield from us being really known. And I love that idea that by not sharing our story, we're actually preventing people from seeing us, knowing us, liking us, trusting us. She says, she has this line: "The shield required that I stay small and quiet behind it so as not to draw attention to my imperfections and vulnerabilities." A lot of times we're trying so hard to be perfect and appear perfect that we just stay small and almost invisible. So allowing yourself to dive in and become vulnerable is actually allowing yourself to be seen in the marketplace. And it's a little bit of it's again, that kind of scary leap, but it's almost foolproof that it works. And one of my favorite quickie ways to start getting at your story is to just really quickly write down 10 things you believe in, just one word by one word. And oftentimes it might just be integrity, showing up when I say I'm going to show up, love, honesty, whatever those words are, the things that you believe in. And almost always there's a story in there that we can find from your life that like, okay, why do you believe in integrity? Well, my dad said he would pick me up and he never showed up, and I waited all my whole childhood for my dad to show up. So I really believe that showing up is really important. So oftentimes there's a cool story behind what we believe in that becomes really meaty. Just jotting down the 10 things you believe in is often a quick inroad into our story.
Thank you for listening. If you would like more, then all our episodes are available on iTunes or on our website at paychecktopassion.com. There you can find additional resources, you can ask us a question, or just get in touch. See you next time.